Okay guys, we need to try and make a couple of these out of a big piece of this to end up with that, I guess. So I'm just going to do some marking up. I'll see if I can bring you along with me. Now we've finally got some materials to work with, and I can get going again. Awkwardly enough, with a sheet of this size, you mark up on one side and you cut it, and then you have to, so this is the side I marked up, you cut that, but then this won't go into the bandsaw, so then I always forget to do this, then I have to flip it over and mark it up on the other side. And now we can cut this, and then we'll get our little rectangle of material that we can use. Alright, so after a lot of faff, I finally managed to set up a camera that is pointing in the right place. So I just need to do a bit of marking up. This is what we're going to be making. I'm actually looking at the ply direction. This should be fine. We're looking at the grain running this way and this way. So essentially I think I really want it to be like this. So yeah, which is a bit awkward given the size of this sheet of ply, but I don't really want to cut it down any more than I have to because it's really expensive. So yeah, so I'm just trying to mark up here and also stay out of shot. I'm using a pencil that I sharpened with a knife, which I think is the best way to sharpen a pencil. You can always get a facet on it that you can get a nice accurate line with. So if I just mark up there at 30mm, and then we've got 27mm plus a 7mm radius at the end, which is 34. God, I've chosen an awkward position to do this. Just checking that that's sort of within reason. We don't need to worry really about that being perpendicular because we're going to put a curve in anyway. So if I measure down 34 mil, trying to stay out of shot as usual. That will do fine. Get my square on it. Looking good. That is now also 34mm. And that's 30, that's fine. I'm not sure if I did that by eye or not just then. So we're going to make two of these, so I'm going to go a bit further. I'm going to go for 34 and then leave some space for the saw blade, and another 34 along to here, which actually comes to 34, 34, 68, 69. So if we give it 70, that should be fine. Do that again. I better get that nearly right again. It's amazing what you can do by eye if you aren't thinking about it, which I was then. So 30, 30. 30 there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out of this sheet now because this is horribly awkward. I'm leaning over. So if I cut along the outside of that line, this pencil is not serving me particularly well, but that should get us two pieces of the right size. Yeah, okay, right. I'm going to stop you now and I'm just going to go and get on the saw. So after an immense amount of faff really, I've got a couple of little bits now, and I can do the marking up of the to match this drawing. It's really hard for me to see this because the holder for the camera is right in the way of the middle of the screen. So I want to put a 7mm radius curve at 27 down from the top, and then as far as I can tell they don't really give you any guidance on this. I just you just blend it in by eye, I reckon. I think once you've got that curve in place and you know where you're trying to get to, I'll just bang a French curve across it, and then we'll get something that at least is coming from some sort of a standard. Okay, I'll just do that marking up now and I'll bring you back. So I've contrived with some difficulty to manage a 7mm radius at the bottom of the piece as per the drawing, and now I am going to use a French curve, or a marvellous, or what they call French curves. I'm not sure whether you're necessarily supposed to call them that anymore, but anyway, that's what I know them as. And the beauty of a French curve is that you can fit them to almost any radius and find a sensible kind of blending, matching curvature that allows you to draw something sensible if it's not 100% defined. So I'm thinking something like that. Sorry, this isn't great YouTube, is it? Something like that. So the idea with them is that they're mathematical. I'm not quite sure what the algorithm is that that is used to come up with them. There are a number. I've got the rest on my, excuse the ivy, I've got the rest of them on my board there. There's a whole range of them that gives you all sorts of different possibilities. They've been around for probably, like, I don't know, 150 years, so I'm assuming that it's some kind of fairly well understood mathematical principle, probably generated by some kind of mechanical system originally. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it's amazing that you can pretty much fit any, you can match any two curves with them pretty much within reason, in a way that seems to work. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll use that radius to blend this in, and I think I can probably flip it and use the other side for the other side like that. Once I've done that one, if I'm honest with you, I'm probably just going to use that as a template to do the other one, because it is such a faff. This is how much faff it is just to make one tiny little bit. Right, so I think I'll come up with something sensible. That line and that line. So onto the bandsaw, cut them out, quick sand, and then I'll draw around it to produce the other one. Well, that took a unreasonably long time to do, but I think they're pretty much there. 8mm in there with a bit of tolerance. But I mean they have to define a specific number, and you strive to achieve it, but at this scale I think it's using materials like this, it's quite hard to get that exactly right. And we should have 15mm there. Oh god, come on. So I'm going to do this with my there we go, yeah, so 15mm as per the drawing. So there we go. And what I think we'll just final little check, you can hold it. So it's a bit zoomed in, but I think that looks about right. I wonder if I can zoom that out and get it almost exactly right. Where's my cursor gone? Okay, no, maybe not. But yeah, I think that looks like what we want. So yeah. So that's the process of doing this stuff. This it really is A-grade plywood, supplied by the Swindon Aircraft Timber Company. I might as well give them a name check. And yeah, it really is. It cuts really well, and yeah, it's just generally good materials. So I'm trying don't want to handle it too much with my bare hands. So yeah, and believe it or not, I think these are the first, apart from the build table and all the other stuff that I've stitched together. I guess I did the scarf joint as well, but these feel like the first real bit of the aircraft I've actually had to make. Yeah, so that's quite interesting and curious thing. So there we are. Good. More on, I guess. I've got materials now. I've got glue. I've got bits and bobs. I can get going again, and hopefully, yeah, we'll see a little bit more. I don't know why my phone is doing that. Yeah, hopefully see a bit more progress. Okay, thanks very much. I'll stitch this together and then stick it up online.